Okay, so Uncle's gonna talk to you about like power, right? Everybody's talking about, oh, the 1 inch punch. I need to get really good at the 1 inch punch. Don't matter, bro. Okay, so the most important thing is you understand that you can corkscrew. You turning, yeah. So you turning, turning, turning. The other thing you should know is that retraction kind of stuff. Like you see this movement right here. So up, down. You see, you heard that? Up, down, or down, right? Okay, like down, up, right? Down, up. So retraction like this. Okay, practice this. Up, up, down. Okay, down, up. Okay, just simple movement like this. Up, down, down, up. Okay, corkscrew. Okay, corkscrew. The turning. Boom. Okay, push in. Okay, you notice something. Let's check this out. Check this out. You see, like here, this is the cranial ring, but don't get it confused with like the bone structure that's here. Okay, so the bone structure that's here is grabbing, and pulling down like this, but it's also pushing in like this. So you got the pulling, right? Pulling of something. So you hold it like here, and you're pulling, using the muscle structure right here and the bone, right? Then you got the pushing, right? And you got the hitting or the banging, right? Associated to it. So it doesn't all have to be all that chi, power, mental, like pushing, whatever. Figure out whatever you need to do to be able to generate the energy that you do, right? There's also like 3 powers, right, in the corkscrew, right? So 3 powers in the corkscrew. So say if we were to use it for like blocking, okay? 3 powers in the corkscrew is, okay, I'm just gonna block. Yeah, I'm just turning the wrist out like this, okay? That's just that. That's one level of power. I'm turning using the corkscrew, turning it out like this. You see how like I turn the arm like this? Here's the second level of power. Using that extra, the number one, the wrist too. So turning with the wrist. So I'm turning the wrist. I'm giving myself that extra level of power. Okay? And there's the third level of power, which is the entire body, right? Using the entire kinetic chain, which is from here. They call it the 5 Jing, right? Generative of power, whatever. But like, it's also unification 6 armies coming up like this, blocking up this, the whole body. Okay? So we can generate power in whatever way we can. Okay? And the whole thing about it is don't limit yourself. Just don't think that I have to develop my chi to destroy the enemy. Know enough of the techniques, know how to do stuff. No subtle stuff like this. So like say like you can't block the opponent because the opponent is too strong for you. Okay, we're blocking like this. Okay, we're turning the motion like this. Okay, so it's almost like we're deflecting the energy out like this, right? And one of the cool thing about deflecting the energy is that we're meeting the force, we're redirecting it a little bit, right? And then what comes next is I capture and I turn my body and I throw. Okay? The force is too great for me to take straight forward. I grab it and I throw it. Okay? My goal is not to like try and like go force on force, because whatever's the stronger force is gonna win. Okay? So you let it go, right? So it's like Tai Chi, right? The guys that come in, boom, boom. Opponents come in this way, or Aikido, just keep on going. Opponent come this way, oh, keep on going. Judo, right? The gentle way, right? Coming up, Jiu-jitsu, right? The gentle technique, right? It's all gentle, soft. Okay, meet the attack, do whatever. But if you need to, then you generate the energy, right? You generate the pulling, right? You generate the circle, okay? The jing, right? This kind of stuff. Like the turn out this way. Like, so here's the other thing. Something comes in strong, right? You take it up first, then you take it down, okay? Or you take it down first, and then you take it up, okay? So what happens is you redirect the force a certain way, but you let the force continue. And then you use the momentum in whatever way you can to be able to generate the energy you need to move on to the next thing. So don't limit yourself into thinking that one special technique is better than the other, and that if you learn that one technique, you'll be unstoppable. life doesn't work that way. That's why, like, when I teach you guys, learn everything. You might suck at that one technique, okay? But I want you to learn all 10 techniques. Not only learn 8 of them, because there might be a situation where all 8 techniques fail. And the only technique that's going to work is the last 2. And even if you suck at it, right, being able to be able to do it, right, is better than not being able to do it at all, okay? And so that's the whole intent. Learn as much as you can. Understand that you can generate energy by just retracting this end, okay? Up, down, and go practice that. Get like a water, do like the monks right in the movies, right? The water, I hit the water, you splash in the water, and then you move on to like the sand, and then you move on to like the gravel, and after a while you hit in the water. You don't really have to do it. You just have to understand that, like, retraction, this way, subtle movement, like the Chinese crosses, right? Up, down, out, over, up, down, out, over, right? This is subtle movement like this. The whip, right? That kind of stuff, okay? We'll just learn about the body, learn about your strengths and weaknesses, learn how to generate energy, use every technique. Corkscrew, retraction, up and down, right? Pulling, twisting, subtle twisting, limitations of the joints, right? That kind of stuff. You understand that kind of stuff? Then basically you can do anything you want to do. Now what happens is, don't use this particular class or training session as your only educational tool. Go out and study the Singhi, go out study Cholifat, go study Bajichan, go study Ilichuan, go study like Singhi, right? Study all those different cool like martial arts styles, right? And more kung fu styles, right? That's kung fu style, right? But also like go study the guys that do MMA, the jiu-jitsu, the jiu-jitsu, right? The judos, right? Nothing is junker than the other. The Muay Thai, they got some good stuff, man. The Silat, all of these different arts, the Eskrima, the Arnis, the whatever else, the Kalari Putaya, right? All these different arts. Don't limit yourself. Learn it all. And maybe you find something that you think is useless and say, that's bullshit, or that's a McDojo technique. Maybe, or maybe it was just done wrong, or maybe it was done in the wrong context, or used in the wrong manner. Always get a second and third opinion. Go out and look. There might be a situation where that one technique is golden. You find like when you use it, and then you might be provided that opportunity, and then you're like, oh wow, this technique works. Everybody else is wrong, right? So go out and try it. Don't limit yourself. You limit yourself, you won't learn it. You've already blocked yourself from moving to that next level. All right, good luck, train.